the first ever interview. So what we generally do when it comes to hobbies, so it is kind of rati retai hobbies, no, reading, music, and kind of. So I told them, okay, like when they asked me hobbies, so I told music. Now I always say that I love listening, right?
Correct.
So we should be punctual enough. And yes, ma'am, one or two things we can do before going for any interview. At least we can prepare an introduction, you know.
So that is also very important. And then comes, of course, the writing part of communication, the written part also, which is equally important. If you're going for a job interview or what kind of interview, it depends upon the work, that work profile that, that you're appearing for. And then I was saying that, verbals and non-verbals. Verbals is something that we speak that all of us know, that we should be really polite, isn't it? All that I think you have already discussed in your last this thing.
Yes,
No?
ma'am.
In your
But
last meeting.
yes,
Yeah.
but
And
we
I was
can
telling
discuss.
her that, when there is a job interview, there is a date fixed, the preparation starts earlier than that. Like how Shadi Biyah may we start off preparations early, like that we start preparation early, at least a week. For me, at least, right, is a week. So that you get to know the, company or whatever, where you're getting into, and,
Yes.
have a thorough study of them and how is it in the market today, whatever, depending on the profile of the company. And prepare yourself also, write down everything, everything, whatever you like, a dialogue writing, no problem, and rehearse it so many times. Not necessary
Yes.
that the same questions will be asked, but at least for your own clarity and the way you are pronouncing your answers, you can rehearse it in front of the mirror or in the bathroom, in the restroom, wherever you find it easy. Or if you have a partner, rehearse it with a partner. Suppose somebody is there to help you out. No? And
Yes.
what else? Verbals, non-verbals, you have discussed, I think. Ma'am was last time she was discussing about non-verbals and verbals. Verbals
Right.
is okay. At least verbals is visible. Non-verbals, that's very important.
Yes.
It may not
Right.
be visible or clear to all, but your non-verbals can make or break the situation. It's very important
Exactly.
because those are subtle things, signals that you send out as to
Hmm.
what kind of a person you are, and I know how is it, how is your behavior. I would say that, wherever you are going for an interview, walk in pretty early, not at the last time gate crashing.
Yes.
Go there early so that, by the time you settle down, you're calm and composed.
Hmm.
You know, find the place where you are to go and then sit and then wait for the others to come. If you are the early, early comer, then what happens is you get a very good advantage of looking at the other people who are walking in, observing, you know, and
Yes. Yes.
people
It's
who,
been said.
that
It's.
is very important. Yeah, it's very important.
Yes.
And talk to people, not only yourself,
Hmm.
make the other people there also comfortable. Because
Hmm.
nowadays, what happens is there are CCTV cameras everywhere. So the moment you walk in, you are being watched. So you have to keep
Hmm.
that in mind. Not that,
Yes.
I am
Yes.
thorough in my subject. I know I can answer all the questions. No, even these
Hmm.
things, they have, they carry equal marks. We don't know.
Hmm.
So, and whatever you're saying, say it with honesty, complete
Honesty.
honesty. No hiding of
Yes.
facts, nothing. If you
Hmm.
don't know, there is no harm in saying, right now, I don't know. Maybe I need to
Hmm.
learn this. I will
That
definitely
is
look
the
into
best
it.
answer. That is the best
Hmm.
Ah.
answer. If
Hmm.
you don't
Hmm.
know, then frankly, you convey to the persons on
Yeah.
the other side.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Correct.
don't know.
Correct. Convey it in
Exactly.
such a way that instead of saying I don't know right now, I am not very sure about it.
Yeah.
But since I'm a quick learner, I'll get to this and I learn this that way. So it
Hmm.
shows your quality that you are a quick learner.
Quality.
You are
Yes.
an
Yes.
honest person and you are a quick
It's a
learner.
good thing.
Huh.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
I
good thing.
just yes, ma'am. I want to share my the experience of my the first ever interview. So what we generally do when it comes to hobbies. So it is kind of rati retai hobbies, no, reading, music, and kind of. So I told them, okay, like when they ask me hobbies, so I told music. Now I always say that I love listening to music because when I told them music, so they were like, the next question was, can you
Correct.
play any equipment?
Correct.
Musical instrument. So I was, but I think I was smart enough to tackle the situation so very confidently and with smile on my face. I just said, no, I don't know how to
Correct.
play any instrument, but yes, if needed, I'll definitely learn that. because I'm
Correct.
always open to learning new things. So
Correct.
yes, we can.
Yeah.
So I think we have already discussed, while telling your hobbies, be very specific. Don't just say randomly anything, reading or music. So if you want to say music, just specify listening to music, which genre you are into, right? And second thing, as you mentioned that early comer. So I would like to enhance an idiom here, that it's been said that an early bird catches the worms. So that's the
Correct.
reality, right? So
Correct.
we should be punctual enough. And yes, ma'am, one or two things we can do before going for any interview. At least we can prepare an introduction in a very good manner, in a very good way, because it is for sure that the interviewers are going to ask us, tell something about yourself. So prepare
This is
with
going
your
to happen.
introduction, right?
It
With
has to
your
happen.
Yes, with your strengths and weaknesses. I think these are very common questions.
Because the
So
moment
be
you
ready.
enter in, the moment you
Hmm.
enter in, no, you're not only see your physical look is something that you cannot do anything about. That is God gifted. But
Yes.
at least the way you dress and the way you enter, the way very politely you ask them, "May I come in?" All that just to create
Hmm.
a like a good impression, because they must be sitting from morning. You might be the 100th candidate, isn't
Hmm.
it? But still, they have to do their job. So how can you make it? No, like how can you make them look up? Ah, yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
this person is nice. No,
Hmm.
that feeling we
Yes,
have to give.
one major question that I also want to know from you. Just imagine, as a candidate I entered, and I can see panel of interviewers. There are sitting 7 to 8 people, men and women. So then, how to greet them? How to say good morning? Because there are so many people.
Okay,
So,
we don't need to say to each and every person.
Spiritual.
No, like
No need.
just look at the your eye span should be like this
uh-huh.
and say to everybody,
Hmm.
Okay,
isn't it?
that's
Because there may
hmm.
be men, women. You cannot say good morning, sir, good morning, ma'am. You have to keep repeating it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to second this Ma'am Sheila's one
Mhm.
suggestion. It's not a suggestion, it is something needed to be done and taken care of. The moment she was talking about the communication skills, and especially when she emphasized on the non-verbal cues,
Mhm.
that and again being quality, being a good listener, because when we listen, we are listening
Mhm.
something, we
Yes,
get the opportunity to create content inside our mind. This is the plus
inside
point
out.
of being a good listener. And when she was
Right.
talking about non-verbal cues, I would like to add up something over here. Not only your non-verbal cues, you should also try to keep in mind the non-verbal cues of the person who is asking you something. That gives
Yes.
you the idea whether you are on the right track or wrong track. Sometimes
Right.
those
Yeah.
non-verbal cues give us a hint that I have
Yes.
to switch over to something else or I'm on the right
Yes.
track. So that
Yes.
is very
Yes.
important.
Yes. True.
Yes,
True.
ma'am. Very, very important. I would say yes.
Yes.
We can have that understanding. Okay, the person in front. Are we able to impress, or we are
Yeah,
just beating around the bush? Right.
yes.
Right, ma'am.
That's what it
Exactly.
is said that it is not how well we speak, but it is how well
Mhm.
we are understood. This is
Understood.
more
Yeah.
Yes.
important. I may speak well, but if you are not
Uh-huh.
understanding it, it doesn't have any importance.
Hmm.
Exactly.
My main aim in
Exactly.
communicating
Mm.
is to make the other person understand. Is it?
Mm.
I may use
Yes.
fancy words. That's why I always tell people not necessary that you have to use very advanced words and fancy jargons,
Yes.
but
Mm.
you should be understood clearly, and you have to always look at your audience and speak what is the level of the knowledge of your
Yes.
audience. Just to
Yes.
show off
Yes.
you know so many things, you should not speak that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It.
Yes. Don't flaunt yourself
Flat.
unnecessarily. That is it. Okay, so just imagine, ma'am, if there is a beginner, he or she just trying to learn this language. Now that person has to face an interview. So what should be the strategy so that he or she can present herself or himself in a good way without getting stuck? Can like, as a beginner, can we use a little bit of Hindi? Actually, we have to use, because we are not fluent. If we are beginners, then of course we are not fluent. But the thing is how to tackle that very situation, how to tackle smartly.
Okay.
Actually,
See
someone
again
has
that
to begin from
okay, ma'am.
somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, no, ma'am, you
Someone
say.
has to begin from somewhere, because after the
Mm.
completion of your PG, you have to appear for some interview someday for the very first
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
So the first timers always they should be prepared for it. That this might be a kind of experiment for me. It's not
Hmm.
sure that if I'm going to appear and I'm going to fetch this opportunity as well. But this is an
Opportunity.
opportunity for me to take it as a learning kind of experience in my life for the rest of the my phase and
Hmm.
interviews, etc. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But when we are educated, I think every educated person, basically or theoretically, the person has an idea that in what way the person should behave and enter and make all the preparations. So that way, Neha, it's not a big issue. A number
Mm-hmm.
of times, the first timers, they attempt so well, and then you would
Yes.
find the people who might be appearing for the second, third, fourth, or
Second time.
10th time, they don't succeed because they don't learn from their past experiences.
Past experience.
Problem is
Yes.
this also. So, and at the same time, the person who might be appearing for the very first time, but person is well informed and having good community. And it's another thing were talking about, I think, conversing in English. It's
Mm.
not at all needed. It all depends upon the kind of job you're stepping in. It's not
Yes.
necessary that you have to converse in English only. Suppose if
English
somebody,
only.
if the candidate is preparing for the post of job for the lecturer in the subject of English, definitely that no leverage
Huh.
would be given to that person to speak in Hindi or Punjabi or in any other language, because
Yes.
this is your
Yes.
language. You are going to appear
Language.
for the job of a lecturer in English. So
In
that way, it is
yes.
must to be done that you are to converse from A to Z
Correct.
in English. But
Mhm.
Correct.
if there is some other subject person, because English is not everybody's cup of tea. It's not easy. We all talk and we have grown up while surviving
Huh.
with the regional languages. So there
Right,
is
ma'am.
nothing wrong with it. And moreover, communication doesn't mean communicate in English only. In Hindi, Punjabi, or in any other regional language, you can behave, you can present yourself so decently in a very impressive way as well. And what
Mm.
about
Correct.
your non-verbal cues? They do
True.
wonders.
That's what I was about to say.
Yes.
That's where your non-verbals and your facial expressions come into play. You should know
Yes,
how to
Yes.
handle it in a very
yes,
nice way.
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because see, if you don't
Exactly.
have the core skill, you are only little bit lacking in language. That can be learned.
Yes, can be learned.
Mm.
Yes, you can humbly say,
Yeah.
okay, you give me the opportunity, and I will, in a short span of time, I will try make all the
Mm.
efforts to come up to your expectations. So it
Right.
depends
Right?
what kind of job you are stepping
Correct.
in.
Correct.
It
Correct.
might be teaching, or might be your job is related to some skill-based content.
Correct.
Then
Mm.
you should have the
Yes.
knowledge of that. And every person can't have the thorough knowledge of everything, as
Correct.
Yes.
we all have learned with experience in our life. If I
Experience.
go back to
Right.
my memory lane, or anybody, you take your example, Neha or Sheila ji, when for the first time we stepped into any job, were we
Yes.
prepared for that and we had the knowledge of thorough knowledge? And even today, dear, how can I say
Mm.
I'm perfect
Mm.
in my job? And
No, no.
there is always
Um,
scope of learning. There is so
Correct.
much
yes.
undone yet. And
Right.
this thing will always remain there, and it should always stay in your mind as well. Only then you can learn, only then you can grow. Otherwise, you
Correct.
can't.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
don't
Right.
aim for perfection. There is nothing called
Yeah.
perfection.
Perfection.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
So
often
there's
say
nothing
perfection
called
is a
perfection.
myth.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah. Aim
certainly
for
it's a myth.
become
Exactly.
better than what you were yesterday. That's it.
True.
Yes.
Plus one, plus
Right.
one,
Right.
plus one. That's it. That's
The
it.
only thing is, whenever you are going for any interview, make sure that the post you are applying for, if you are going for any teaching job, so if you are going to be a subject teacher, you should have the proper knowledge of your subject. It doesn't mean that you are flaunting yourself in communication and you do not know much about your subject. So it is not going to
That
work
is
for
right.
you.
True.
So you
True.
should have the mastery of your particular subject or skill you are
Yes.
going to
Yes.
apply for.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
you need to focus on. And yes, it's today's era is all about presenting yourself. So don't just sit and kill your time. Try to adapt new skills. Try to learn new skills. Actually, we should have that inquisitive mind, I would say, because uh, ma-
Yes.
life is all about learning new things. So don't just say and don't just sit and say that I am perfect now, I know each and everything. No, it's not going to happen, because there should be always a room for learning, and this is the trick how you can be a better version of yourself. So that should be. Yes, and before we just wrap this session up, I want from both of you one strong message to all the learners, because when there are so many learners who are literally in trouble. Actually, their base is not that much strong. They do not know the basic structure of this language. So sometimes they just go down in the dumps and they just feel like giving up. So just a strong dose of motivation.
Never give up. Never give up that there is no age of learning, no time of learning.
Correct.
So if
Correct.
you have made
Correct.
up your mind, just begin with it. And practice makes a man perfect. And you are the best judge. You know what is your level of learning, like at what level you are at this very moment. So I think all the instincts are already hidden inside you. Listen to them and go ahead. There
Yes,
is no stoppage.
wonderful.
Very right. Very
Beautifully,
right.
beautifully. Yes, beautifully
Yeah.
explained. Yes, Sheila ma'am.
Yes. Just listen with curiosity, speak with honesty, and act accordingly.
Wow.
Then,
Nice
things will
one.
come to you.
Okay.
Isn't it? Like she said, no, you just have to open your layers. You can do it.
Mm.
And have that positive mindset. If you don't have that positive mindset, we cannot
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
have
I can
positive
do it. I
mindset.
can do it. Just
And
teach this
keep the
to
controls in your hand. Don't let others control you. That
Yes.
Yes.
you
Mm.
have not learned. I have learned in 3 months. Don't just pay deaf ears to all those things. Take your time, but keep progressing. That's it.
Mm.
Nothing is impossible.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
See, we are
As
living
Trying to be a
examples. We
better
are living
version of yourself,
examples.
as you said earlier.
Ah,
Madam
correct.
also
Yeah.
said the same thing. You said the same thing. Try to be the best version of yourself.
Yes.
That
yes,
is
Yes.
important.
yes.
Correct.
Mm.
Correct.
I want to add here that I am learning this language to express myself, not to impress others. It's just
Others.
about
Exactly.
myself. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
I think when you do things for yourself and when you are honest with you, when you believe in yourself, you're good to go. That's the
Yes.
thing.
Correct.
So,
And listen to understand. That is very important. Listen to
hmm.
understand, not to
हाँ,
respond.
बिल्कुल.
So that
Yes,
you keep it
exactly,
in your
ma'am.
mind. Exactly. Like,
Hmm.
see, now
Yes.
today, for me, that's what I was telling to Kamalji ji. This is satsang for me. I have gained so much
Ah,
out of it.
right. Right.
We had a beautiful conversation. I cannot forget her
You are
conversation.
very wise, Sheila ji. I don't know. I'm actually again unable to find some correct word for it. Like you are so mature so far as your thought process is concerned, and if I compare, suppose comparison is something very automatically done, and I feel there is so much which I need to learn from you. Neha is too
Same here.
young.
Yes.
Same here. Same here. No,
Right.
but Neha, for her age, Neha is very mature, very mature, very mature.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. So I am blushing.
She's the best source of inspiration. She inspires me a lot because a number of time I discuss my journey, the way it's going, and she's the person who always gives me the motivation. Just ma'am, keep on moving.
Correct.
We are
Correct.
going to
Okay.
rock
Yes, ma'am.
someday.
When I saw her
I
Skype message, let's practice, my smile went wider and wider and wider.
Yes,
Exactly.
actually, I can't tell you. I would say, ma'am has given me this word, Kamaljeet ma'am. I learned this word, ineffable. I wasn't aware of this one. So yes, when I am with you, the all the knowledge, all the things that I get you, it's just that it is an ineffable expression for me. I can't express, and. I learn from both of you. Kanwaljit ma'am is that's bubbliness. I would say sometimes she's like me. She both panic, but Sheila ma'am, she's always calm and composed. She
Um,
comes. Yes, yes. She's like when we have some kind of tensions or worries, so she always comes with solution. No, it's okay. Chill,
Yeah.
just chill.
she's,
So
she's making Good combination, Neha.
Yes, as ma'am is as cool as cucumber. Right.
Yeah.
Try to come with those questions which are most commonly asked by the
Okay.
beginners or the learners, because most of the time interview is a kind of nightmare for so many people. How to crack an interview, how to crack an interview. Next, I think we can discuss something about grammatical mistakes or those concepts, or kind of. I'm working on this. So I'll again knocking very soon.
Neha is
Well,
patient.
welcome.
Yes. So happy Sunday and thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, both of you.
Thank
Bye
you.
So
bye.
hope to see you.
Thank you.
Hope to
Thank you
Bye
for
meet
bye.
very